Hello, viewers. I'm SB,
And I'm Amabel.
and welcome back to Amabel Goes to Forex School, Episode 3, where we're still playing this game of Civ. We are still Hammurabi. It is still Giant Crab time. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it is always Giant Crab time.
Yes. Giant crab time comes for us all.
They call it mega carcinization, and there is no escape.
Okay.
All right, so we got a couple of immediate problems to resolve. Obviously, we still got barbarian issues. We have just founded a religion, and we want our religion to be spread wide and to become more powerful. That's going to be a problem with this other competing religion on the same continent, especially since that religion has already spread outside of the borders of the original empire. Now, notice, religion and empire are related but not the same in a way that I think is like semi-historical. Like this is our religion and we're going to do work to spread it because it benefits our empire to have this be other people's religion. But like it didn't immediately convert all of our cities even.
Yeah, and this makes sense to me with the lead designer of Civ 6.
Yeah.
Who's made at least a couple board games that are about like religion and how it relates to politics.
To have a happy and engaged workforce, as it is to have a profitable bottom line.
One thing he has in at least one of his games is these kind of overlapping like control structures where you have the religious control and the territory control, the political control as two separately tracked things. So seeing something like that here is not very surprising.
St. Lawrence River is flooded. I guess that's this little river, because this river is the River Avon. Not terribly interesting. I don't care about that river flooding, but it did happen, and our scout was there to see it.
So that's another thing that's, and I know that you can say Amabel, that's not the point. But it's another thing that's weird to me, that...
What's that?
The St. Lawrence River and the Euphrates River are not very far from each other. Just like the way that just like the names of things are just kind of used willy-nilly.
Well, they're not used willy-nilly. What they do is, if I'm not mistaken, within the area of a particular civilization's starting point, they prefer to grab geographic names from that real-world civilization's environs.
Okay, so when you
that's
have
why,
Canada...
because we are down here as Hammurabi, we have the Tigris and the Kabur and the, that's still the Kabur. That's the same river. And then up here where England is, we got the River Tees and, the Canada. Yeah, that's...
Gives us St. Lawrence,
That's some of what's happening there.
So, and maybe it's something that will come up as we're, once we're playing other human-based Civ games, but, is this kind of naming thing common in these kind of games where you have a randomized terrain? Like with the historical figures being kind of decontextualized to be flavor, the names of cities and rivers. Is this just like standard for the genre, or is this something that's more particular to Civ?
So part of the difficulty with answering the question as you have asked it is that those are sort of the same thing. There just aren't that many of these.
Okay.
One thing that I do want to express, and we're going to play several 4Xs, and we're going to play games inspired by 4Xs and stuff. But one thing that I think is really important to get across is that there just aren't that many 4Xs. And as far as historical ones go, the Civ is sitting on a pretty large percentage of the overall market share.
Yeah.
Now there are some other ones like Old World and stuff that I haven't played, in part because I don't find the historical setting really all that interesting. It's not my favorite thing. We have another governor title here
Okay.
while we're talking, and I am debating what I want to do with it, because we could just
Ooh.
upgrade Pingala and grab that plus culture per turn for each citizen in the city, and he's in a city with 6 population. It would take us up from 9 culture to 15. It's a pretty big difference. But we could grab another governor as well. And I think there's like some argument to be made for like grabbing Moksha to allow our religious pressure and in particular our faith output to jump up now that we have things that are worth buying with faith.
Yeah.
Because now that we have a proper religion, we can purchase religious units and also religious structures with faith. And that's basically like any kind of building that you would build in your holy sites. So for example, down here in Babylon, if we were to look at the thing, you can see our our meeting house that we acquired is buildable in the holy site. Temples, basically like basic stuff like temples and whatnot. We do not actually have the ability to build temples yet, because we have not researched theology, although we will be doing so very shortly, because we're going to go, once we get political philosophy, we're going to go through mysticism and theology next. And in fact, I will just, how do you do this? Hold shift? Yeah, I will just go ahead and in-queue those right now, because we're definitely doing that.
Yeah. Why don't we do the religious?
Well, the thing is, we'd be putting him in Babylon for that to make any sense, and so we'd be bumping Pingala to somewhere else, and that might be sensible. Pingala is giving us currently a 15% increase in science and culture, and this city is definitely responsible for most of our output of those things. 5.5 of our 9.5 culture comes from this city. You can see Malgium is producing 0.8 and Durkarigalzu 3.1 because it does have a monument in it. So we could bump him down to here, I suppose.
I feel like whenever this decision to be made, the answer is crab time. Giant crab time.
All right.
How do we make giant crab time happen?
We'll lean on the religion stuff a little bit more. All right. Let's appoint you to Babylon. Yup. And we will bump our man Pingala down to Durkarigalzu, I think. Malchim's gonna grow. It's gonna grow quite a bit once we have, well, we do already have those fishing boats, right? I'm gonna put him in Durkarigalzu. I think that makes the most sense. Anyway, so it's going to take them both 5 turns to establish themselves in the cities. We're not getting benefit from that just yet, but yeah, we can lean on the religion stuff a little bit if that is preferable to you. So sorry, I interrupted you.
I don't remember what I was saying.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know a ton necessarily about what is going on in all of the other historical 4X games. I do know that we have a tremendous amount of control over what's going on with these barbarians because we have this river and overlapping archer death zone. The barbarians can't move from this tile across the river in a single turn because they need to spend a full turn's movement to cross the river. So all they can do is run forward and get murked, and then this will give our scout time to get over here and threaten the camp, which is, I think, our current plan. We have our horsemen finishing soon.
It's not the primary reason why cities tend to be established along rivers and seas, but it certainly provides a defensive advantage.
Yeah,
historically. So that's.
If I'm honest, I kind of assumed that the primary value of having a city established along a source of water was, food and.
But yeah, exactly.
Food and technology based.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But it also provides a lot of defensiveness, and that's a nice side benefit. You know.
So we just created this trader. I'm going to rebase this trader to Malgium. We're going to run a route from Malgium to Babylon because Malgium needs a little bit of a push, and also this will create a road here that will be helpful. If we were focused entirely on using the trade route to spread religion, we'd want it to be coming from the religious city.
Okay.
But we'll get there. That's not my primary concern right this second. So I really want to create a diamond mine here. This tile is in the third sort of circle of tiles around the city, which is the farthest out that you can purchase stuff. And because it's in the third circle out, it would take a very long time for the city to acquire it. Naturally, the city will tend to grab with culture. It will tend to grab things that are in the second ring first. So we are going to have to buy this, and that is my plan with the next bit of our gold is to acquire diamonds. All right, so Dur Kurigalzu finished building stuff. I think we need more expansion, and Dur Kurigalzu is having a housing issue, so I might just build a settler here to sort of play toward both problems. I guess the other thing we could do is we could start building a district. Because we do have room here for a district, and like, as much as we don't need a bunch of science, building more campuses will give us more great scientist points, and that will help us cheat our science system with all of the inspirations that scientists give. We could also build a theater square and take advantage of the bonus great writer points from our pantheon, because our pantheon does help out with those three types of districts early on.
Okay.
We could build another holy site and jack up our faith production. And certainly having more holy sites means we have more access to places to put meeting houses, more industry.
Yeah. What are you feeling like?
I'm feeling like we have a lot of options, and I'm not as practiced on these as I used to be. I don't know what makes the most sense. The other thing we could do is build another builder, because frankly, we still have a lot of tiles that need improvement, even beyond this diamond thing. Like, there's unfarmed wheat over here, just in the... Honestly, that might be...
That's probably, yeah.
We still just need builders. All right, we're keeping an eye on what's going on over here with our galley, but we're also looking for if there happen to be any shallow water routes to any other land masses. That would be a thing that would be very good for us to discover early. All right. Before, horses were merely a curiosity of scholars, but now our horseman wields them. So we're the first civilization to own a horse-based unit. Do you think of a horse rider as a person who wields the horse? That's an interesting conceptualization of that, in my opinion.
I mean, certainly that's probably the way a lot of horsemen would conceive of it, but yeah, I wouldn't know.
It seems like a very strange way to think of it, to me.
Yeah.
So Mexico City would like a trade route. We already have an envoy with them, and so we have their base production bonus. Notice that their production bonus only applies to wonders, buildings, and districts, and it's only in the capital and cities with workshops, which means currently just the capital for us. We'd like to eventually upgrade to this, but it'll be a while before we can actually take the benefits of this. So right now, what I'm trying to say is I think that envoy is like extremely low value.
Okay.
And what is of higher value is expanding this city and also getting this road established, because it's a pain in the ass to get from Babylon to Malgium right now.
So I have a weird question about unit types, because there's we have like our special little unit, and I take it other civilizations have like a special little unit.
Every civilization has at least one special unique unit, and also at least one unique improvement of some kind, either a tile improvement or a building or a district.
So I have two questions. One, are there elephants?
Yes.
Okay. 1B, who has elephants?
Now, see that you're going to get me in a little bit of trouble. I'm not going to be able to tell you off the top of my head who has elephants.
Okay. Question 2. Those remain unique units. Like, having contact with another civilization would not allow you to learn how to make that unit. It would be something that's that's a very weird. Okay.
Well,
It's a very weird thing
having
to me.
contact with, oh right, I should absolutely have done this, right? We have this extra citrus and I didn't move it, and now he's come to us and he is offering a very odd deal. He's like, I would like access to your citrus to create amenities for Canada. Sure, makes sense. He'll open his borders to us. That's rad. He'll give us 6 gold per turn for 30 turns. And he'll also give us just one gold, one additional gold right now. That is curious to me.
Canada's so weird.
I'm going to accept this deal. I think that's a good amount of money. But it is curious to me for him to throw 1 gold right now on there as a pot sweetener. That's a weird.
Like slide it across the table. Like, how you like this?
And if you were to consider our offer, just like I guess, man, that's fine. I don't really. It doesn't have to be like that. All right, so a horseman is so much more powerful than a base warrior that this is not even. Look at this, 40 to 13 after all adjustments. We just run them the fuck over. And then we finally clear that encampment. And removing encampments within a certain number of tiles of your cities, within 6 tiles, that's worth a bunch of era score.
Okay.
We remember the day we cleared the danger from the doorstep of Dur Kurigalzu. And that's cool because I am so fucking done with those guys. Wilfred Laurier finished building a Temple of Artemis somewhere. That's cool. That's good to know. An unmet city-state has been defeated. Very rarely a city-state will fall to barbarians. It is most likely that is a player that killed a city-state. And because city-states are, broadly speaking, a pretty good source of resources, most of the time people don't do that.
Okay.
But there are certain civilizations that definitely get bonuses from bullying city-states or destroying them. Okay, our governors have established. People are building world wonders all over the place. There are a lot of wonders of the world in this game. And so we will be seeing that kind of message a lot. We made ourselves quite a bit of money clearing that barbarian camp. We're going to grab these diamonds. Notice the diamond mine has improved the value of that tile significantly. That's like actually a very strong tile now. Oh, this is still pillaged. I never completed. That's right. That's why I had that guy waiting, is because we were going to unpillage that camp. Well, we have a worker building. We'll unpillage the camp presently. And now we have a little bit of a military and not a lot to do with them. So for the moment, I'm just going to have them move back to our cities. There is a barbarian camp over... Stop grabbing the camera. There was a barbarian camp over here. Never mind. Candy must have dealt with it. So yeah, we'll want to keep our units like kind of lively, kind of ready for action, because a barbarian camp can always spawn on any tile every turn. Every tile that doesn't have vision from a player can spawn barbarians. For the moment, things are pretty calm.
The attainable, the art of the next best.
And who would know better than Otto von Bismarck? All right, so we've unlocked governments. Amabel, these are the governments of the world, the kinds of governments that exist. So we've unlocked this first column. We can move into right now. Our government was giving us 1 point, one of these, 1 influence toward earning more envoys for city-states every turn, and 0 diplomatic favor with which to buy votes. These new ones will give us 1 influence and 1 diplomatic favor, in addition to a different set of policy slots. Chiefdom, obviously, 1 red, 1 yellow, pretty weak. And two special bonuses here. We can see.
Okay.
So autocracy gives us one slot of each color. There's a green color, which the green ones affect diplomatic stuff explicitly. And then a purple slot, which is a wild slot, but also there are some purple policies that can only go in purple slots.
Okay.
And this gives bonus yields for each government plaza building, bonus production toward wonders. It's sort of like I don't know. It's kind of all around, I guess. It's very hard for me not to want to go to Classical Republic, which has 2 economic slots and trades out the red slot, which is definitely our least valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really need 1 red slot, you still have your purple slot for it.
You have your purple slot, yeah.
Plus, this gives bonus grade person points, and that's the thing that we're fairly focused on early anyway. All cities that have at least 1 district get +1 housing and +1 amenity. This is just this is the good one.
Yeah.
And then there's this one that has more military slots and gives your units +4 combat strength and bonus unit experience. And it's very I feel like this is very split. It's like Classical Republic is the one that's usually right. Oligarchy, if you're trying to win a military victory right now, and autocracy, I guess if you're working on a wonder, but probably not.
Yeah, let's go with
That's kind of how I feel about these. My people are enthusiastic to try these new forms of government that we've invented. All right, so let's talk about this thing here. So first of all, the green slot's pretty easy. Do we want +2 influence points per turn for earning more envoys, or the first envoy you send to each city-state counts as 2? This is really bad for us because all of the city-states we've met, we've already got a first envoy with. So, damn.
Yeah.
We do have a purple slot tradition, just give me great writers. But we could use that to hold a 3rd yellow if we wanted. So we are building a settler right now in a city. I feel like colonization is actually pretty good.
Okay.
And then our wild card policy here, I'm just gonna hold on to urban planning because just up production is still a good thing. And then it's do we want we're building builders and we'll continue to build builders over the course of the game. But I think this is kind of okay. If we were building wonders, Corvée would probably be worth considering, but we're really focused on other stuff. So it's do we want 2 gold from our trade route, or do we want great writer points? I think we want great writer points.
Okay.
Getting this settler done faster is certainly worthwhile. All right. Tribe of barbarians have moved into a nearby region. Okay. Gives our horses something to do. I think I'm gonna send one of the archers over here and just post up in Malgium. These other 2 military units can head in the direction of the new barbarians. And you have finally made it home from your long journey, and I think you're just gonna park in this tile and heal. I'm not gonna put him in the city because I want to store the. Oh, okay. We found a dead end. So this barbarian camp that was on this peninsula must be the people who produced this galley.
Okay.
Weird. So all of the... Oh, we hit a great person threshold. We are producing a lot of great scientist points. So we got the first great scientist. Celestial navigation, mathematics, and engineering. Celestial navigation, mathematics, and engineering. Mathematics.
There's navigation.
Yeah. Okay, so we have celestial navigation already, but this, if I'm understanding how our mechanics interact with this guy correctly, he's just going to give us these 2. That seems like a pretty good dude. Let's go ahead and take him.
The purpose of education is to replace an empty mind with an open one.
And taking great people gets you the boost toward education. So we have to get him to a campus and then use his ability. So he's about to give us engineering, which is what we were working toward.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're still gonna get masonry for free eventually. I guess we're just working on shipbuilding. Because it feels like any more science we put into engineering is wasted, right? We may as well be channeling it somewhere else. Although I think we're probably going to end up owning 2 galleys as well. So we actually have totally fair combat with barbarians at this point. All of the things that gave us bonuses against barbarians, we've lost.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I want to go just like blow for blow with this guy. I'm gonna back off.
Okay.
It doesn't hurt us any for him to like be alive running around, so I don't really care. Okay, you are going to head up here and fix this bee problem. And there's still some tiles down here that we don't have revealed, so I'm going to send our other scout down there to clear that problem up. All right, now that we have this new government type that gives bonus housing and amenities from cities having at least 1 district, Dur-Kurigalzu really needs a district.
Mm-hmm.
So let's build our first theater square. We're doing okay on great scientist points. We can have a quick look here. So we're producing 3.4 per turn. There's another civilization out there also producing 3.4 per turn, but they got started slower than we did, it looks like. And then the next highest is like 1.1 and 1.1. So there is an argument to be made for going harder on these and trying to dominate an even larger percentage of the total great scientists. But also culture is important. Yeah, let's get a theater square going. I guess part of the problem here is that we don't actually have a spot that's good for a theater square. Adjacent districts. And we could build a government plaza down here eventually and boost it that way. But yeah, we don't have good adjacencies for either of them actually. All right, that's fine. I'm just gonna put this somewhere here. And then we can build more districts adjacent to it, and its output will get leveled up over time. How are we doing? What are we working right now? This probably makes sense. We don't want to optimize around food at the moment because the housing penalty is reducing our growth rate anyway. So having this tile worked, I think makes sense. This city's going to be working on that for some time.
Mysticism is the mistake of an accidental and individual symbol for a universal one.
It's weird to have a quote that's kind of negging on the thing we just researched.
Yeah, but like the viewpoint of this game is right. Like I'm sure the developers would argue that it's a neutral view. The game doesn't have viewpoint, but the game is the viewpoint of sort of like quote unquote enlightened centrism.
Yeah, it's definitely there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that the game is expressing ludically, which I'm trying not to be too much of like, because I know it's not the point, but at the same time, like some of the decisions they make mechanically by using the historical dressing, like makes arguments about the history that show a lot of unexamined biases.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't know how unexamined. They just think they're right. They may have examined them.
Like we were talking about the units earlier, and the thing about like why Rome, for example, was so successful was because they just kind of borrowed from everybody. Like the Roman Manipular Legion, like everything came from other civilizations they came in contact with, and so the fact that each civilization has like a defined national character that is immutable, and defined types of people that are immutable to that civilization, like, I'm not,
Sweetie. All right. So, we've just become suzerain of a city-state.
okay.
We got an envoy from this civic, and I awarded it to the city-state that we already had 2 envoys with. So we now have 3 envoys and more than any other civilization, which means we are the sovereign of the suzerain of this city-state. We get some bonus diplomatic favor from them every turn with which to buy votes. The city-state will follow our diplomatic status with other players. If we declare war on somebody, so will Hunza. They give us vision. We get to see what their stuff sees. We gain ownership of all of their like improved luxuries and stuff. And also, we can pay them a certain amount of gold to take control of their military units, to like levy their military, basically, for a certain number of turns. Plus, each city-state has a unique bonus that they give to their suzerain. In this case, trade routes generate +1 gold for every 5 tiles that they travel. That's free money.
Okay.
I was looking at the suzerain bonuses of the other city-states near us, and honestly, they're not super great. Mexico City's bonus has your industrial zone, water park, and entertainment complex bonuses reaching 3 tiles farther. To be clear, this is a good bonus, but we don't have any of those things yet. So right now, it's not interesting. Also, Mexico City there is more stuff going on here. You can see there are 3 civilizations. Eleanor and Wilfred both have 4 envoys in the city already. They're fighting over suzerainty. So we are unlikely to be able to be Mexico City's suzerain without either destroying these 2 civilizations or expending an awful lot of resources. And Candy gives relics every time you discover a new natural wonder, which is like kind of a cool idea, but we've already explored the entirety of the landmass that we have available to us. So it might be valuable to be their suzerain when we find some more stuff to explore. Which we will, to be clear. For the moment, I'm just going to keep withdrawing from here. And the vision from Hunza has revealed there's a tribal village down there to go and interact with. And I'm going to have our horses stay right here. I don't really want to get caught out in the open by the spear units, because obviously +10 combat strength versus cavalry, because they're spear units.
Yeah, horses don't like pokey things.
Yeah, horses don't like getting stabbed with a spear, unlike most other creatures who love it, for whom it is just the greatest thing.
Also, they don't like elephants. The smell of elephants bothers horses.
Yeah, the smell of elephants bothers most things, I reckon. Okay, so we did pick up a second copy of Cotton, and as you can see, the AI will come to you aggressively looking for your extra copies of luxuries, because they want those amenities real bad. She's willing to give us 20 iron that we could sit on and potentially build a unit with or something later. The thing is, I don't know that we're ever going to make use of this. Oh no, I'm sure you're happy to accept this deal. We're gonna dial some numbers up here. How about? Okay, she would do that. We found the line.
Now,
So
how much gold are?
She'll do 6 and like. Here, make the deal more equitable. She'll do. But didn't she tell me she wouldn't do whatever?
No, she wouldn't do 7 with the other payments. How much are we paying her still per turn?
Yeah, that's a great question.
How much are we actually?
Let me see here. Ongoing deals. Do we have any ongoing deals with that? I don't think we do. I don't think we have an easy way of viewing our ongoing deals, rather. Yeah, it kind of doesn't. That does seem like it should just be right on here, doesn't it?
Yeah, because we definitely took a loan from her, and
yeah, and I don't remember. Yeah. Okay, so we haven't talked about like grievances and stuff. The war systems in this game are actually fairly complicated. They did a good job, I think, of weaving the diplomacy and war systems together in a much better way than they have in previous Civ games. It is no longer just like a trivial thing to declare war on someone in terms of, opinion on the world stage and whatnot. Here we go.
Normal people believe that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Engineers believe that if it ain't broke, it doesn't have enough features yet.
So this game was made at a time when a Scott Adams quote was a very sensible chuckle dot gif kind of thing. I doubt they would quote Scott Adams today.
Yeah, I would
If
hope.
I were again beginning my studies, I would follow the advice of Plato and start with mathematics.
All right, so we got ourselves some free tech there. Thanks, mathematician whose name I've already forgotten. All right, so we step our archer forward and start shooting. If we were to attack with our horse, how bad is it? It's pretty bad. We'll just sit here and heal in the forest, where we get a little defensive bonus. So if he comes after us, we have, it won't be so bad. And yeah, this is definitely, I feel like, sort of a point where you reach in a lot of Civ games where, like, there are things going on, but because, as you pointed out before, because each turn is so sort of incremental, you do end up with there being a fair number of turns where you're kind of not doing anything while you wait for previous plans to fruit.
Yeah.
All right, we got here this settler, and I think we're going to go settle along the Euphrates, probably. There's a nice area there. Right, this will allow us to clear this tile. You're coming down here to get this village. Oh, another barbarian. Oh, a quadrireme, in fact.
Oh, that's danger.
The hell is this from? Where'd this come from? Huh. I don't know the location of the barbarian camp that produced that. That's a little worrying. So because we've unlocked some more technologies now, we have access to the university, which gives science and housing and a great scientist point and a citizen slot. Some buildings have in them slots where you can plug in citizens, and the citizens that work in those buildings, obviously they don't produce resources from the land, but they produce whatever the building produces. So like in this case,
Yeah.
obviously a university is a place that produces science. Not that that's a bad thing to do, but let's get our Palgub up. I've waited a really long time on this. A building that gives you production is the thing you should build quickly. And I've done a bad job of that. What's it cost to purchase one? It would be 320 gold. We have actually a very significant income. I think that's probably where our gold is going next, is a Palgum for the new city.
Okay.
So we can just rush that out and get that new city kickstarted, sort of. Congratulations. This is where you live now. Actually, you know what? Let me swap these two. The scout can hang out here for a second. I'm going to take the archer up to the new city site. Okay. Maple syrup, wool blankets, and our honored traditional headgear, the toque. Sure, man. Alright, our horseman has gained experience from fighting all these barbarians. So bonus combat strength specifically versus anti-cavalry to sort of like limit the effect, the extra effectiveness of spears, or more combat strength against ranged units, so that you're getting like the maximum value out of like flanking and striking your opponent where they're not prepared for. I do like this. I do like using my fast moving units as fast moving units.
Yeah.
I think we can retreat the archers back to defensive positions. Okay, there was 60 faith waiting in that thing.
Sure.
Let's talk about purchasing an item with faith. So, we have the meeting house, right? Which, of course, we can purchase with faith. It's expensive, but we can do that. We can purchase a university with faith because of the fact that we took Jesuit education. Right? But the other stuff we can purchase with faith, which is about to be a little bit important, and I think we're going to spend some faith on this, is we can purchase missionaries, which are allowed to convert. You can send these to cities and convert citizens in those cities to your religion. missionaries may not initiate theological combat, but there are other more advanced units that can. And basically, units of opposing religions can use the combat strength system effectively to have arguments with each other and reduce each other's religious fervor. And
That's a creaky old idea. That's very. Are you familiar with the game? You're not, but are you familiar with the game Origins of World War II? It's a board game from the 70s.
I'm not, no.
So this is a game about diplomatic maneuvers before World War II, and it was published by Avalon Hill, designed by Jim Dunnigan, who was like the guy who founded SBI. He was a really important figure. He's still alive in the development of like board war games, and then he did this game about diplomacy, about like diplomatic maneuvers and trying to get favor with people. And the way it was represented was all your diplomats had diplomatic combat strength.
Okay, yeah.
You rolled on a table with an odds ratio, so it just.
Yeah, that does sound like the same idea. So Eleanor here is squawking at us about not showing our people the light. Surely you cannot believe in nothing. This is a hint. So yeah. Eleanor of Aquitaine has this agenda here, right, about civilizations with populations and whatever. She also has a hidden agenda. We don't know what this is, but there's another sort of like set of behaviors that she likes and dislikes. Mm-hmm. When a leader comes to you and says something like that, what they're doing is they're delivering to you a hint about their hidden agenda.
Okay.
So her hidden agenda has something to do with religion that helps us understand why she went so hard on a great prophet early, why she has this religion and it's already like spread all over the place. She's got some kind of religious agenda going, and we're going to be interacting with her in some way by spreading our religion up into the area where hers is. Clearly she doesn't like that we don't have one, but I doubt she'll like that we're trying to, take away her converts either. So you can see a lot of units, when you select them, the game will switch lenses for you automatically. Like when we select our settler, it puts us in settler vision, and it's like, these are the good tiles to settle on. So this is a visualization of where religion already exists in the world, the tiles that belong to cities that have a major religion. And also you can see these little indicators are indicators of religious pressure. So any city that has a religion exerts a certain amount of religious pressure on its neighbors. And I believe the amount of that religious pressure is based on the population of the city, or like the number of citizens in the city that are that religion.
Okay.
With holy cities putting out double pressure, double their number of citizens. So you can see these cities are going to convert due to just natural religious pressure in a certain number of turns. We have some Catholic pressure here, but a lot more giant crab time pressure, and you can see sort of like the speed of the waves indicating that because this city is so close to the holy city of this religion. The other cities around us are going to convert when they convert. They'll get there. We are going to speed this process along with our missionary. But our missionary's first task actually is going to be deliver a bunch of religious pressure to the new city.
Okay.
Because I want it converted immediately, and we'll keep the Catholicism out of there as best we can. Arthur's Seat, this volcano over here, has become active. It's doing the things that volcanoes do to warn you that they are about to strike. So at any time, that might erupt. That's interesting news for us.
Yeah.
All right, our military units can kind of just return home for the moment. The bees are repaired. Let's get improvements over here. You're headed back to friendly territory. We earned ourselves an envoy, and we're going to go ahead and place it with Candy, because like I said, we do eventually want...
Yeah.
We do eventually want to be Candy's suzerain. Okay, we finished building our harbor. So that's rad. And building the harbor has improved the number of traders we can have, so I'm inclined to just build one of those right away. More trade routes is more good, generally. Are you able to say something?
Well, I have a question about the religious stuff, which maybe will be answered later. I'm not sure, but like, are the religion um singular in nature, like, or are there like divisions within a religion? Do those ever manifest?
No, not really. The religious system is not that complex. It's not
Okay.
given that much focus.
Okay.
There's definitely like I said, along with the game's sort of like quote unquote enlightened centrism viewpoint, there comes a certain amount of like religion's important, but isn't it also a little silly? You know, that kind of. So
I mean,
I don't know. It's given
yeah.
a. Speaking as an atheist myself, I understand the urge. Okay, but
Yeah.
I do think it's maybe not treated fully with the seriousness that you might expect. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say this is one thing that I find is that there does seem to be kind of everyone in the civilization, for example, is united towards one purpose. You don't have.
Well, you're so zoomed out that you can't tell.
Yeah.
I think a more is probably more the way they would want you to think of it. It's not. We just don't. We don't
Gotcha.
see issues on that level. And we haven't talked about the loyalty system.
Only because he takes seriously what the gods made for fun.
We haven't talked about the loyalty system at all. But there is it is not the case that everyone in your civilization is working toward the same ideas necessarily.
Okay.
So we have finally unlocked the temple, the first of the religious buildings. We've unlocked the scripture bonus. This is just more faith. I don't care about this. We actually have a lot of faith income now. We're doing just fine on that. We've earned an envoy, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and send it to Candy.
All right.
Get that suzerainty, which we don't super care about now, but again, we will care about later. So you remember I was talking about how there can only be one unit of a type in a tile.
Yeah.
We have a lot of different types of units now, as you can see. There's trade units, civilian units, religious units, land military, and sea military units.
Okay.
And so we have a lot of overlap. There's a lot of people hanging out in Malgium at this moment. I'm not sure exactly where we are putting the city. It's probably here, right? On the coast, adjacent to the river, with a couple of improvable tiles in the area. You have one build left. You know what? I was gonna take this citrus and sell it to Eleanor, because we're already selling citrus to the other guy. But actually, I think I want both of your improvement charges up here. We'll have our horseman hang out in Babylon. Just in a place where he's ready to respond to whatever. I'm going to repair my galley before it gets destroyed. And now that we have theology, we kind of don't have a civics plan. We got the stuff I really cared about. So we can push hard into the next era, and we can pick up, for example, the ability to have a monarchy. I think this is a little bit strange because monarchy is a second tier religion. It's an upgrade. It has more slots, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
And it has bonuses that are a little bit more focused on religion and diplomatic favor and stuff. But I think it's strangely positioned as a religion that has 2 red slots along the path that is probably this is a path you probably take Classical Republic along. Because if you're doing red stuff, you're probably going higher the civics tree, where the top path has things like,
Yeah.
all these different veterancy and military bonuses and whatnot. And you don't get another religion until the Renaissance era. And the religion that's along the top of the tree where all of the military stuff has been is the only one that doesn't have 2 red slots. I don't know.
Yeah.
They seem very strangely placed to me. I'm not really sure why they're like this. So we can get ourselves another governor title by going for recorded history. Games and recreation will get us access to the entertainment complex, which helps us generate amenities. And basically, this is an idea that's supposed to represent everything from like the place where you would have built the Colosseum in a Roman city to Cedar Point or Disney. This idea of like a place that is explicitly for that, which I appreciate as an idea. I'm really not too sure what I want. If we go to Divine Right, we unlock a couple of new types of wonders. It only has 1 yellow slot, but it has an extra purple slot, so you can just like run your 2 yellows and a purple that you were running before in that way. It's just like for a player who wants to be more focused on yellow stuff, Monarchy is a really bad fit. It doesn't provide any increased ability to do that, and you don't get a religion that does until the next era. It's just odd. But maybe we want to focus in that direction. Civil service gives you the ability to make alliances with players. There's a lot of like basic functionality that is not available to you necessarily at the beginning of the game.
Okay.
I think we're going to take recorded history. I don't necessarily need all the extra science, but an extra governor title is for sure valuable. And civil service giving access to governors with promotions, provide amenities and housing is nice. The ability to ally with people is nice and provides a lot of interesting benefits.
I know this still isn't the point, but it's weird that civil service is a medieval technology.
Sure. All right, we built our civilization-specific improvement for the first time, so era score for that.
The 4 building blocks of the universe are fire, water, gravel, and vinyl.
Okay, I don't mind a Dave Barry quote. That's fine.
Yeah, they do they pull from a wide variety of places for sure.
Do you remember when there was a sitcom about Dave Barry? That was weird.
I don't. You gotta remember, you're so much older than I am.
I am some years older than you, yes.
All right, so we've got a lot of important stuff going on here. We've got a lot of our sort of basics established.
Yeah.
We might want to actually build a monument in our home city, I suppose. That could occur. Am I just building another builder? We still have so many unimproved tiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of think it takes a lot of improvement to run a civilization. All right, somebody else has finished the Hanging Gardens. Wilfred is pumping out the what do you call it? The World Wonders. He's actually doing like a crazy job of that. So, Mexico City with its dominant religion of Catholicism. I'm a little worried here. We're about to have a really serious culture clash where there's all of this Catholic pressure bearing down, and we need to. How many charges do you? Oh, let me close this frame here. How many charges of spread religion do you have? 3? I'm thinking I might let me go back and do a spread. Well, no, let me go forward and do a spread. I think I want to do a spread in Mexico, a spread in Belgium, and a spread in the new city, and then we might want to go like dump a bunch more religion on Mexico. Like push really hard to get Mexico City converted, because if Mexico City is strongly Catholic, it's going to be providing a lot of pressure on the new city. And we could instead try to make it like the spearhead of our religious push north.
Yeah.
I'm going to need more missionaries.
The thing about giant crab time is it is inevitable.
That's like the number one thing. That's the most thing about it. You can see our road exists now.
Mm-hmm.
Our trade unit has been dutifully building that road out. Has been making because we ran a road from Dur-Kur Galzu to Babylon earlier. We have most of a road through our civilization. It kind of stops at the holy site. It didn't ever get all the way over here. But it's most of a functional road.
Yeah.
And that'll help. That'll be useful for our builders and whatnot, because we really do have a lot of very uneven, weird territory. In particular, some like nice bridges over the rivers and stuff is helpful. All right, our galley has healed, and we're gonna do some more ocean exploration here. Yeah, we're gonna move forward. I don't really know what I want this scout to be doing right now. Like, I guess I'm going to have our scout hang out around Malgem because, like, at some point, we're going to find another landmass that is worth exploring. And those two scouts, that's when they really come into play again. Ooh, notice we're no longer little happy face with Eleanor. What's up with our relationship here? Okay, so their first impression of us was not super positive. Listen, the AI can be like that sometimes. They like that we sent them a delegation, and there's some kind of unknown reason that is related to the religion that is also damaging our relationship, and this is what she was telling us about when she sent us that message. So this is going to be, we don't have enough religion, or something like that.
Okay.
What's up with Wilfred? Wilfred has a less unfavorable first impression. We have the delegation, but it's just like he's kind of an unfriendly person in general, I guess. Responds to as many emergencies and scored competitions as possible. Likes those who also participate in such activities. Okay, so this is not providing any diplomatic anything right now. That's a thing about systems that haven't unlocked yet.
Okay.
Sending our worker up here. And we've unlocked ourselves another great person already. Wow, we got the next great scientist. So, first of all, here's a little bit of text about Hypatia in case you don't know about Hypatia. It's edutainment. Secondly, libraries provide +1 science and instantly builds a library in this district. I'm thinking we might pass on this one. We might let the next player have this, and we'll just, because this isn't super good for us, right? With our science value being halved, I guess a library does produce a great scientist point.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe it's worth taking. We'll grab Hypatia. That was our third great person, so we've made progress toward the Enlightenment now. And we'll just have Hypatia hang out until does our current campus has a library, right? Yeah, our current campus has a library. We'll be building another campus somewhere eventually, and she'll just boost that one. All right, I think our settler is putting down here. We are going to go ahead and use a spread religion. Plus 200 giant crab time. Hypatia, just take a nap. We don't need you just yet. All right, so the new city, first things first. Like I said, we're going to buy Palgrim right away. +2 production, freshwater tiles receive +1 food. That's good stuff. We need that. We have a builder coming in to do a couple of initial improvements. The city is squawking about insufficient amenities, but that shouldn't actually be true, right? Shouldn't it be getting amenities from all of our luxuries? I thought each luxury fed to 4 cities. This might be a thing where it's just like, it doesn't update dynamically, and it'll fix it at the end of the turn.
Okay.
Might be. Hard to say. I guess we'll just start if I was going to build a unit or something, I would build it in Malgium and send it over here, right? Because Malgium is much better at building. So we might want to just start building a district, actually.
Okay.
Just right away. And I got to say, a harbor right at the mouth of the city, looking right at those fish, certainly makes a lot of sense. But maybe we want another campus to build that library in eventually. I think I'm gonna do that. We're gonna set up another one of these. It'll get constructed over time, of course. Let's make sure that we are locked into the highest value tiles. I wish you could set a priority on the tiles. Like, you can only lock the currently existing population. You can't be like, this tile should be first and that one should be second and that one should be third, and then have the city like grow into your build order, which is annoying. Like, that's a thing that obviously should be available.
Se volete spugnar de bastir ciutats pres de nostra frontiera, che si farsian forze bellas, per alchem sia belcan las mie.
Okay, the brevity is the soul of wit, in my opinion. That could have been whatever. She got there eventually. You can't say she didn't. So we just had Malgium's trade route finish. I think I'm probably going to rebase this trade route to Mashkan Shapir and run it from there, because first of all, we can spread a little bit of giant crab time that way, and secondly, we can get some bonus resources. Do you have a thing you would like to say, Amabel?
I don't know if I'd like to say it or not.
What is
okay? So come with this journey into my broken brain with me.
Okay. I love a good journey.
So when she was saying that, like, I appreciated that it was done in what I presume is French, you know, a language appropriate for her to speak.
Yeah.
But like, it reminded me of the fact that in the Tekken games, everyone speaks the language they're supposed to speak. And then I thought how much more I would enjoy this if your leaders were Tekken characters.
Yeah, no, I can immediately grasp the value of having King deliver diplomatic pronouncements to the opponent.
And I feel like Marduk's civilization would be very fun.
Yeah. So I think we're going to build our first industrial zone here.
Okay.
Industrial zones obviously provide additional production, and that's a big deal. Some of the buildings that you can put in an industrial zone provide their production bonus to all cities within 6 tiles of the zone. So I'm like counting. I want to put this down so that it's feeding Durkari Galzu and Malgium. It looks like Mashkan Shapir is just a little too far away to also get the benefit. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So like this area is pretty decent. I think I like here. This tile is too far away, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So unfortunately, because of the things that give bonuses, you can see adjacent quarries, things like that, adjacent mines. We do get a production bonus if we build it over here, but I'm pretty sure we want to put it here.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, no, here is too far away from Malgium. This tile does not get the bonus, but this is the tile we need to put it in for it to affect both of our other cities.
Okay.
That's awkward. Or we could put it down here, I guess. Is that better? 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this tile also works. This tile is adjacent to the campus, at least.
Yeah.
Whatever, we're doing it.
Go with that.
Okay. What do we want to do here? We want the right. We want a Palgum. We want Palgums everywhere. Palgum is probably not the right plural, right?
I'm not sure.
Palgodes or something like. She wants citrus. Right. We got the third citrus. I still don't actually want your iron. Open borders I might take. Having proper open borders from them makes it a lot easier to, run your units around and do a havoc. She would give us 5 per turn and 9 up front. I'll take that. In particular, if you have open borders with them, I believe. I wish I could remember exactly how this works, and it's been a while since we played this game. Since I've played this game last. But there is definitely some. You can use military units to kill other players' religious units.
Yeah.
Look at this shit. What does she think she's doing? What the fuck is this? Okay. Well, I think I want to send this back home to Babylon because of the bonus, food and production. We just want to get this city pushed. But it's worth noting we could get culture from sending it to London. We could get science from sending it to Quebec City because they have enough scientific stuff in their districts. And that's all cool. I just want food and production. Let's just get this city big and strong as fast as we can. It won't construct any additional roads because, as you saw, it's going to do part of the journey over water, and then it's going to use the road from Belgium. But it's still good. And in fact, let me get our scientist up to the place where he's supposed to be here. All right, so we do need to construct. We have so much stuff to do. We have so many things to do. Right now, Plymouth is about to convert toward. I think I'm gonna take our missionary over and convert their new city. This was not the plan.
No, but she did build that city right there.
But the plan has evolved. So we are currently giant crab time, but we are receiving more religious pressure from Catholicism. So we are going to convert, but it's only a little bit more pressure, so it's not converting us quickly. And we just gotta build up enough sources of pressure in the area. If we could get these 3 cities to our religion and hold them, they will provide a good, solid amount of pressure. Plymouth, this is a really shitty thing to do. What does she want this lake so badly for? Ugh. All right, it's fine. Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad. It's fine.
That's where she got the sword from that lets her rule.
Okay.
That's why she wants to keep the lake.
It has a lot of sentimental value to her. Okay, we're finally hitting the end of the classical era. I'll tell you what, I'm going to get this Hypatia up to the campus so that I don't forget, and I think that's where we'll end the episode.
Okay.
I'm afraid I will forget to move her up there if I don't do it right now. More of these games should have note-taking functionality.
Yeah.
You can put down map tax on this in this game, and this is kind of like a way to do that, right? If I put a tack down here, I can name it Hypatia, go here. I will just tag it with the symbol that is most reminiscent of Hypatia, which of course is a spaceport. There you go. There's some functionality. So I guess we could just end the episode now, but
I'll go and get Hypatia there. That's fine.
Let's do the thing. Hey, we're about to finish our first theater square. All right, Hypatia still can't. Most of our units can't embark yet. So this shipbuilding technology is what allows land units to embark. The only thing we have that can embark is traders and builders right now.
Okay.
So unfortunately, she has to travel through this this densely forested, hilly terrain.
Each of us is carving a stone, erecting a column.
There we go. Remember, I was working on this. We did it. We finally got masonry. It's 675 BC. Is that good for masonry? Is that a reasonable time to get masonry?
Yeah.
So this preserve, this is the thing that didn't exist in the game last time I played, I'm fairly sure. Grants up to 3 housing based on the appeal of the tile. Culture bombs adjacent neutral tiles. What that means is it adds them to your terrain. And it increases their appeal by 1. Let me just, hold on, let's turn on the appeal lines here. So obviously we have some appealing tiles because of the fact that we have tiles that are near a natural wonder. That's always the case. Those are always higher appeal.
Yeah. Especially when there are oranges.
Especially when there are oranges. We badly need housing in this city, so I am thinking about this. We could build a granary, which is plus food and plus a little bit of housing, but this would be potentially more. Is there a tile we can build it on? So we could build it on one of the 2 tiles down here. We could buy a tile south of Yosemite and build a preserve, and it would be a 3 appeal tile.
Yeah.
I've never built a preserve before, and I kind of just want to.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're building over a tile that has 1 science on it, and I would have stronger feelings about that if we were any other civilization. Oh, your proselytizers are not welcome among my people. I must ask that you remove them immediately. So we can say, I'm sorry, I thought, that's my bad. I was mistaken. This would gain us 30 diplomatic favor already, but this is a promise. If we say this, and then we do proselytize to her people again, she will gain a very large amount of grievances against us. Or we can just tell her to fuck off right now and give her some grievances, a smaller amount. If it's God's will that your people believe in crabs, who am I to stop it? I would like to note that I think it's very fucked for it to be like, if it is God's will that your people believe in our ways, because this only makes sense as a thing to say if you're a monotheistic religion. There's a presumption going on here that seems completely bizarre to me. Like, how did they think it was okay to write this text on this button? But I think we're going to do this because I intend to continue to proselytize. So, grievances. We just generated our first grievances. Hypatia, how many? It's going to take you forever to get up there. Jesus Christ. All right, just keep trying. All right, it does look like there's not a shallow waterway from this landmass to any other landmass. That's fine. We'll figure it out. Ooh, she's very angry. She's denounced us. I will stand opposed to you and stand for love and laughter. Things that you don't get. Okay, so she's mad, and she has denounced us formally. A formal denunciation is definitely a precursor to a declaration of war in a lot of cases. The evil deeds of Babylon. So let's talk about this system just really quickly. Obviously, we're kind of trying to close the episode out here. So she's generated grievances. We now have 25 grievances against her for daring to denounce us.
Yeah.
The cruelty. Which means that the balance is zeroed out. If we wanted to declare war, we could declare a surprise war. This will generate 150 grievances, and any grievances created in the war will be 50% greater. So it'll make us look like the bad guy. Nobody likes a person who is like, hey, surprise, you're mine. If we want to declare war in a way that's more accepted by the rest of the world, we have to use a casus belli. The declaration of a former war is used to declare war on a player that has denounced you or that you denounced at least 5 turns ago. So we could declare war on her immediately. She has to wait a little bit after the denunciation to declare on us. And there are no restrictions. This is just hey, I hate these people, so I'm going to war with them. The international community understands to some degree. Wars of retribution. Target power must have recently broken a promise to you. Like I said, promises matter. You'll notice that generates a lot fewer grievances. If you broke a promise to somebody, they get a lot more sort of sway in the way they respond. And then one of the things you can do with a golden age is like hey, I'm going to declare war on everybody, and this is a bonus that you get. As you continue to move up the civics tree, you unlock sort of like more interesting and complicated ways of declaring a technical war that like you get better at massaging the opinions of the people who are not your opponent, basically.
Okay,
in a way that I think is pretty interesting. But yeah, we should be aware that she may be intending to declare war on us. So I'm just gonna... I did plant our most advanced military unit up there for this reason. I thought a thing like this might occur. Okay, and then we are going to drop our last charge of religion in Mexico City. It's probably not going to be sufficient to flip the religion, but we'll get some what do you call it? Some progress here. All right, Hypatia makes it all the way to the river this turn. Scouts, just hang out. You are coming over here to fix up this farm. Okay, and the campus is coming along. You can see the population here is growing really quickly. I was definitely thinking about laying down a city somewhere over there in the near future, probably after we finished our industrial zone. So already we're having a little bit of competition. Obviously, like, we have lots of room to expand. I was playing north into the bottleneck on purpose. You know what? One of our scouts should probably be... Let me redesign this here. We do have tiles that we can't see. We should fix that. Okay, Hypatia will get where she's going next turn. And here we get to pick up another... We get to farm some maize, which is the thing we have not had before. It's a bonus resource, not a luxury resource, but it is just, it's just a lot of food. So you can see the city's still growing very rapidly.
Yeah.
This, like, the combination of modern farming techniques and us hurling resources at it and running trade routes back home for materials, and you can really get the growth rate of a city up pretty dramatically once you have a little bit of tech. And we do only have a little bit of tech. It's going to get much more dramatic as the game continues on.
So what is the religious pressure situation in Mexico City now?
Well, if we pull up our religion lens here... Now, you don't get as much as I would like on the numbers here.
Yeah.
Giant crab time is present. The deal is, like, each citizen can have a religion, and you are dominant in the city if you have more than half of the city's population of your religion.
Okay.
So it's not actually telling us how many people are of each religion in the city, which is annoying. But we are producing the pressure. You can see pressure in this city is now positive toward giant crab time. We're no longer converting to Catholicism. This Plymouth is receiving some pressure from the Holy City. It's close enough. I believe it's like 10 tiles, but it's the most pressure close up, and then it reduces over distance.
Okay.
So we're probably gonna have to continue to produce missionaries. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and buy a missionary right now. I was kind of hoping to wait until we got our meeting house, and we're really not that far away, but we do have to kind of convert. We have to produce like a stronghold up here. Yeah, that's the thing that's gonna be necessary. Okay. The situation is there are some crab time citizens there. We don't know how many. We probably won't know how many until it actually flips.
Okay.
Somebody built at Tamanunki. I don't know what that is. So we have a couple of turns left. And notice we are actually way above our Dark Age avoidance threshold. If we can make 7 era score happen in the next 5 turns, we can stack a second Golden Age. And that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Hypatia is here. We're going to leave the PID there as a way of reminding ourselves to actually use Hypatia when the thing is complete. But it's not there yet. We have one more build charge on this builder, and I'm going to use it to go grab the iron here. And we're just going to run our military units up in this direction. Next turn, we'll get shipbuilding, and we'll be able to embark units, and we'll be able to move from Maljum to Mashka and Shapir much more easily after that.
Okay.
But it's not anything we have unlocked just yet. It'll be useful for the missionary, at least. Okay, and here's the city of Winnipeg. So she hasn't managed to spread Catholicism to Canada very much. Yeah, we can still make this happen. She definitely doesn't want us converting her stuff. She's brought down a heavy chariot. That's not a big deal. Where are we at on military units? So we have the ability to produce swordsmen, but there's no real reason to do that when we can produce horsemen instead. And we do have horses for a couple more of those. We have to own 3 archers to get machinery. We should build an archer somewhere. We have 2 archers right now, and that would give us the ability to build crossbows. And that probably will kick the shit out of anything she can build. There is a way...
But a plank between us.
Yeah, there is a way to queue stuff for production, right? Yeah, the queue. All right. Is this where I would want to do it? It would only be 3 turns here. It would be 4 turns here, and I guess we don't have anything super relevant to be... Okay, yeah. Never mind. We won't do that way. What we will do is this, so that I don't forget that we need to build the 3rd archer. Just start building it. Okay, and then I think this is where we can call it for the episode.
All right.
So that's gonna be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Amabel, where are you at so far with this as a game? Obviously, there's a level of complexity here. Do you have any thoughts, though?
I mean, some of the systems are quite clever. Some of the design is quite clever. You know, setting aside everything I keep bringing up every episode, like, there are certainly some things that can be compelling. I'm going to be interested to see where it goes. Because, you know, here's the thing. How many turns are we in?
It is turn 93.
We're 93 turns in. So we're, you know, at least a third or a quarter of the way into this game. And we're not yet at the point where it seems to me where we're leaning towards a particular victory condition. We're kind of just...
Yeah, not really.
Doing a little everything. And it'd be interesting to me when that point comes. Because I'm used to, like, in games that are kind of run-based. Because I guess you call this a run-based game.
Yeah, sort of. Sure.
I'm used to, you know, I'm getting some random things that are influencing how viable the run is and what decisions I'm going to make, what I'm going to lean into. But then it's fairly early on that I'm doing that lean.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me how much of this is like the pre-lean period, but it's also a more complex game. And I'll be also interested to see how that relates to other 4X games.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah, because in a board game scenario, you do kind of like you pick a strategy pretty early. There's not as much sort of like generally getting kind of like generally strong to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, when you come back next time, I guess our religious war begins in earnest, and we'll see you then.